Hello and welcome. You're watching CNN News 18 with me, Shreya. Let's start with a breaking news that we're just getting at this hour. We're ahead of the Tamil Nadu polls after DMK Palaniaswamy Block O Panneerselvam OPS is likely to join the DMK today. He is likely to get one seat. Joining us with more information is CNN News 18's Payal Mehta. Payal, very good morning to you and thank you for joining us. Now, there are strong indications that OPS may align with the DMK today. So what is the confirmation that do we have at this hour?
What we do understand from our sources is that OPS, in fact, will be joining the party at 9:30 a.m. He is an important leader from the Tevar community, something that MK7 will really show off and say that EPS treated the Tevar community very, very badly by opting out of the alliance with OPS. Remember, OPS has been trying for the longest. They've been hobnobbing with all sides. They've been trying for the longest to get into an alliance with the NDA. But it seems that APS has been blocking his entry as well. With the fact the splinter factions of the AIADMK were seen all over the place, whether it is Sasikala who's launched her own party, or whether it is a fact that, TTD Dinakaran, her nephew, has in fact joined the NDA fold as well. So a lot at play as far as DMK and, of course, the AIADMK being the two important factions as far as this election are really concerned. On one hand, the NDA feels that they have a formidable alliance in the sense that they have been they able to get multiple partnerships going. Vijay is not chosen a single side as of now. He's expected to go on his own. So it'll be important to see what formidable alliance is formed by the DMK, especially in the wake of the fact that they've not had any settlement so far with the Congress party. Very interesting election. Multiple factions now settled. Sengotian, a senior leader of Jayalalitha's party, is now firmly with Vijay's party as well. So lots happening as far as that is really concerned. So interesting elections ahead. As far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, the OPS has asked for one seat. And it is pretty likely that either he or he will ask his son to contest because remember, his son was a former member of parliament, but wants to make it big in the active politics of the state now.
Right. Now, Payal, does this signal that OPS's independent political space is now ending, and now is it a strategic survival that he is joining and, leaving his independent political strategy behind?
Well, as far as his strategy is really concerned, he was hobnobbing with multiple sides. He wanted for the longest to become a part of the NDA, but nothing really worked out. We are given to understand at some point in time he was also trying to ally with Vijay. But he probably, thought it better that it would be better to be with a winning combination because close sources close to him says he was pretty convinced that Vijay might not be able to, create a winning formula in the elections. Therefore, they've chosen the DMK, the next best and the most important available option as well. Remember, like I said, the alliance is not formed so far as DMK is really concerned with the Congress party, but they are also forming up some alliances. For example, Captain Vijay party has also joined the DMK, so the DMK is trying to strengthen its base through multiple small partnerships.
This move does in fact happen today. So how significant is this timing so ahead, so close of the upcoming Tamil Nadu polls?
Look, normally when joinings takes place so close to the election, they obviously happen for election purposes and therefore it is very important. Like I said, EPS had joined ranks with BJP for quite some time and there was always a suspense on what would happen to the splinter faction, given the fact that there was no clarity on what Mr. Sengotian would do, what would TTD do, what would OPS do, what would the others do as well. But EPS had really been very, very firm that he did not want any splinter faction, he did not want anti-incumbency to be embraced by the NDA, he did not want corrupt faces to be endorsed by the NDA as well. But somehow TTD Dinakaran has been managed to come onto the NDA fold as well. But he had vehemently opposed the inclusion of OPS. Remember the OPS-EPS battle, you'll remember, which has been a story of Tamil Nadu for quite some time as well. And also the fact that he was very, very confident, very, very, sort of very, very insistent on the BJP that they should not take Sasikala because Sasikala does not bring anything. According to EPS, he has been able to convince the NDA that Sasikala was quite a spent force. But Sasikala is not taking anything lying down. She's, of course, launched her own party. She's going to be contesting elections as well. But several critics really say it's going to be very difficult for her whether she'll even be able to put up candidates or create any impact. But like I say, election season, politicians definitely want to, try what is best for them. So OPS is a classic example for that. But his SAR relations with EPS have been something that will be known well in the Tamil Nadu political circle.
Right. Now, Payal, from a local caste and community perspective, how might this realignment shift the voters' vote shares in the key districts?
Well, it is important to understand that OPS has been the former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. He's been somebody who's been part of Jayalalitha's factor. He comes in from the important Tevar community. the message that the DMK is trying to send to the NDA camp is that here you have a leader from the Tevar community who did not get the due respect that he should have gotten in from your side, and therefore we're taking him to our side. So that's the strong message that they want to release. Eventually, what will boil down to in Tamil Nadu is who gets what seats and who will be able to create a dent on the other faction. Because remember, earlier it was always a contest between the two Dravidian parties, but now you have Vijay also in the fray. What Vijay will be able to do only is a matter of time, because many within multiple folds feel that Vijay can only at best create some dent on the vote bank. He can't really win seats. He can't really create an impact. But as far as Vijay himself is concerned, he's very, very convinced that people will pick him because they're tired of the two Dravidian parties, ruling the rules. Dynastic rules, corruption rule is something which Vijay is trying to point out every single day as well. So that's something also it's a very interesting Tamil Nadu election this time around.
Right. Now, Payal, you mentioned the Dravidian politics. Now, what are the broader implications of this realignment? Like with this possible merger now, are we seeing a shift away from traditional party loyalties?
Well, it's not a merger. It is Mr. OPS who has decided to join, and we give it to understand, decided to join with his son. As far as that is concerned, that is something which we have been given to understand. And they were an ignorant faction for quite some time, given the fact that after Jayalalitha's death, the party split into multiple factions. EPS controlled the major part of the faction. And he, in fact, got the symbol which is in place, lying pretty much in the cold. But in the run-up to the election, the fact that he want to make himself politically significant, this move is considered to be important because then he'll be at least part of one alliance. Because like I said, EPS has been blocking both Sasikala and OPS for the longest, and had practically put his foot down that he did not want to see the two of them come into the NDA fold.
Right. Now, we are also joined by CNN News 18's Pallavi Ghosh. Pallavi, a very good morning to you and thank you for joining us. Now, if confirmed, this move may represent one of the most unexpected alignments in the Tamil Nadu politics. So, what are your views on that?
See, DMK is clearly not wanting to take any chance, and it's trying to stitch up these kind of alliances. I mean, many would argue that is OPS, Sasikala, any of them, any factor at all. But in political alliances, in terms of elections you're contesting, you try to stitch up all the odd ends. What the factor which DMK is working about is that all the possible anti-DMK votes are put in one corner because every seat matters, every few votes which matters. I would also say this interestingly from the point of view of the Congress party, because Congress sources over here are claiming that they were not even kept in the loop, while the DMK acknowledge has a right to try and stitch up its own alliances. But as a coalition partner, and the fact that KC Venugopal had recently gone to Chennai, he should have at least kept in the loop. But DMK is as much playing a hardball as the Congress party is trying to play vis-a-vis Vijay. So there is an element of distrust over here. But this, of course, is a super shift, a major shift ahead of the battle for Tamil Nadu.
Right. Now, coming back to you, Payal, now how solid are these reports on seat allocation? Are we sure that OPS is going to be assigned the Bodi Nayakur seat, or the talks are still ongoing?
Well, he's going to be joining today. I'm sure that, when you join ahead of the political season, you're not joining for charity. There is no charity in the business of politics as well. He obviously will be making his share of demands as well. But it'll be important to see because the seat-by-seat formulation has not been decided yet. Like Pallavi was pointing out, we not really know whether the DMK will go in alliance with the Congress party. Will the Congress party manage to get an alliance with Vijay really going? A lot of talks are happening in the air right now. We do not really know anything for solid. What we do know is that the EPS faction of the AIADMK and BJP and some of the others are together. And we do know that DMK has struck an alliance with Vijaykanth's party and a couple of other smaller parties, and they are together as well. In fact, the Ramadas faction is also divided in two parts, but the major faction has joined the NDA as well. So we'll have to just wait and see how this really transpires. But I'm sure OPS will, since he's been a former chief minister of the state, will definitely want a ticket or a seat for his family. Either he contests or his son's contests. It's just a matter of time because he's just going to be joining the party today. I'm sure the talks must have taken at multiple levels, but he's not expecting anything more than, one or two seats at the max is what I'm understanding.
Right. Now, Pallavi, you spoke of Congress and the BJP. So now, could this move reshape the parties like Congress and BJP and their strategy in this election going forward?
See, I think in terms of battle for Tamil Nadu, the biggest stakeholder over here and whose political future is certainly going to be at stake is that of the DMK, no doubts about that. But the Congress also has been a part of this alliance, and the Congress is also hoping that this time round, if the government is formed of the DMK, Congress and its allies, then the Congress party can get certain amount of, they've been asking for 4 to 5 of those ministries. They're saying we don't want those big ticket key ones, but at least we should be a part of the government formation. But that is something which is not being discussed as now, because the Matapachi is happening more over the seats. Congress asking for 40 to 45. The DMK says not more than 20 to 25. Then there's angling of a Rajya Sabha seat as well. But in terms of OPS, who is seen as Jayalalitha's loyalists, what the DMK's calculation is very clear is that the AIADMK core voters will that be split and then try to veer them towards each other. The BJP plus the EPS is also working on the sympathy factor or the Jayalalitha factor, which is of course going to be tried to be played out. I mean, look at the statements which comes in from the BJP, from the Prime Minister at times about Jayalalitha, with whom he shared a very, very good and warm relationship. That's the game plan of the DMK. In all of this, the Congress's grudge is that you accuse us of not keeping you in the loop about Vijay. Why did you not keep us in the loop about the fact that you were talking, multiple rounds of talks was taking place within OPS? So the underlying reality is a level of mistrust. I'm not saying it's going to last long, because, you know, these are early days yet. And at the end of the day, no one wants to lose elections. But yes, that becomes a benchmark of a future relationship between the DMK and the Congress.
Right. Now, we are, of course, tracking this development closely, as nothing is confirmed officially yet. Thank you, Payal and Pallavi, for joining us and sharing your crucial input with us. With that, we're now slipping into a very short break. We'll be right back with more stories and updates. Stay tuned.